diagnosed with MS in 2010. I recently turned 28 and had symptoms at that point for about 9 months, which covered pretty much most of the symptoms you can get. Actually, it was pretty bad by the time I was diagnosed. But the main thing for me, which remains to this day, was numb feet, heavy leaden legs, and unsteadiness, and kind of an inability to walk terribly far, or certainly to stand up for long. And at the time I was very active, so when I was walking, which I did a lot, I didn't have a car at that point, I would find that my legs would drag, and within a few minutes my eyesight would get blurry. I guess that was the fatigue kicking in. And then that kind of went on to slurred speech as well. I had slurred speech and then incontinence. But the mobility is the one thing that has really remained, and I've never quite been able to get on top of, despite trying so hard. I exercise a lot, but that was the biggest impact, the loss of mobility for me.
Before you started having any of the problems, how was your relationship with exercise?
If I had my first own bike that wasn't like shared with my sisters. I got that when I was 10, and you couldn't part me from it. I was on that bike at every opportunity after school, the weekends. I took it with me to university. When my friends were driving to the campus, I would cycle to the campus. When they were walking to the bus for a night out, I would. When they were getting the bus for a night out, I would walk to the night out. It was always this wanting to keep active and enjoying walking out. I couldn't understand why anyone would not want to walk anywhere. And then while I was at uni, I started going to the gym and became quite hooked on that. I was quite a gym bunny and worked out every day, right up until my diagnosis. I was at the gym pretty much every day that I could be. And I kept up my love of cycling. I did just a couple of years before I was diagnosed, or shortly, and a year before I got my symptoms, I cycled across Egypt, and that was for the Meningitis Trust. So it was a charity cycle ride, and it was the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. The buzz that I got from cycling, we were going through the desert, just meeting all these wonderful people in the Egyptian villages. Just the most amazing journey I've ever done. And when I came back from that, I was like, man, I just want to spend my life on a bike and see the world. So I started to read up on a lot of people who had kind of cycled around the world, or just cycled across America, cycled the length of Britain, all these, you can do so many different things on a bike. And I thought, well, I might start with London to Paris. Just a short one, because I was at the time working, and this was in 2010, the year I was diagnosed. I had the form ready to fill in, but then my mobility started going bad, and I thought, okay, I'll leave that form aside because I don't know that I can do it at the moment. I'll wait until my legs are better. And unfortunately, that moment never came, and I can no longer ride a bike. So London to Paris, that might have to wait until I've worked out another way of doing it, maybe arm cycling or a motorbike. The week after I was diagnosed, I had to cancel my gym membership because the gym I went to was a half-hour walk to my house. And like I said, I didn't have a car. I could no longer do that walk. Certainly couldn't do the walk, exercise, and then walk back. So I had no way of getting to the gym, even if I wanted to do it like a small workout. So I remember going into the gym to tell them I was leaving, and I just broke down, and the poor reception lady, she came over and gave me a big hug, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't want to leave the gym. It was just so heartbreaking. So what I did instead, I invested in a home workout, a DVD program that uses a kettlebell, and that became my main source of exercise until I had my first child in 2013. So almost 3 years it was of doing the kettlebell at home. And I got so good at it. I was really confident with it. I probably was the fittest to look at that I'd ever been, actually, because it really toned me up. Because it wasn't so much cardio, it was a lot of using your muscles and weights, which I hadn't really done before I was more into running and cycling. But this used my arms a lot more. and my core muscles, which was really good for my balance. And then when I became pregnant, it wasn't advised that I continue it. And after I had my son, I found it really hard to get back into it. I think everything that my body had been through, I was kind of like starting at square one again, and I'd never been in a position where I had to start exercising afresh.
Okay.
So I think on top of having MS, I was probably just really unfit, I think. And I found it really hard. And I thought, well, I'm going to have another baby next year, which I did end up doing pretty much. So I thought I'll leave the exercise until I've had that baby. Tried again with the exercise, got on a bike for the first time, and I managed a little bit of cycling. And I thought, okay, this is good. I'm going to buy a new bike. So I bought a new bike, and that was in 2015. I've never ridden that bike because I couldn't, despite feeling like I could cycle with kids and stuff, I couldn't do it. And then the worst happened. My legs became worse, and I relapsed pretty badly, and I can't ride it. So I've got this brand new bike. It's a bit dusty, but it's sitting in my garage, unused. After my third child, I was feeling really unfit, and I thought, do you know what? This is ridiculous. MS makes me feel better. Exercise makes me feel better. I'm going to join the gym again. I'm got a personal trainer on board, and he wrote up a program for me, a food plan and a workout plan. And he sat down with me, went through it. He had ME himself, so he kind of understood a bit about fatigue and stuff. But he was a bit shocked when he asked me to do 20 minutes on the cycling machine. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll give it a go, but this isn't going to go well. And after 1 minute, he said, okay, all right, stop. Maybe we need to build up to that one. And so he completely changed the workout plan when he realized that my legs were as bad as I said they were. I don't think he believed me until he saw it. And then, we got this perfect fitness plan, and I became super fit, really pumped. I was feeling so much better about myself because I was eating healthy. The exercise was staving off the fatigue. It was just so good. And I kept that up. And then COVID happened. And this is where I am now. I'm kind of post-lockdown, starting from scratch again. It's hard work.
Would you recommend getting a personal trainer then? Because I guess it's a tricky one if they don't fully understand MS and how it works.
If you are going to find a personal trainer, you want to find one who's kind of experienced in training people who have got disabilities, if you are disabled, or if you just find it tiring, someone who understands that, because otherwise they will push you and they will say, you've got to get through the pain, and the more pain, the more gain. With MS, that's not true. The more pain, the more pain. There's no gain. There's more pain for days and days to come. So you can't overdo it. And I think a lot of personal trainers really push you, just do another 30 seconds, do 5 more, come on, 5. And you're just like, no, I can't do it. Your body's screaming at you, and you're not going to, it's not going to last if you have that attitude, unfortunately, because that's the attitude that I have. Just prior to getting that personal trainer back in my early MS days, I was recommended a personal trainer who specialised in disabilities, and that wasn't good for me, actually, because kind of went to the other extreme where you are doing sit down exercises, or see if you can raise your arms up and hold them there. It was it's very basic stuff that you probably need to do if you need to build up your strength from scratch, but I wasn't in that position at that point. And for me, I wanted to have a go at doing some proper weights, but he was kind of doing everything so delicately with me that I wasn't getting anywhere. It just wasn't, I didn't feel like I was getting any endorphins, anything from the exercise. I was just feeling frustrated, thinking I can do more than this. But I think he was trained to take it very easy, and he's like, we don't want to hurt you, tell me if it hurts. And it's like, well, it always hurts.
That's true. It's a fine line, isn't it? Because you want a little bit of extra push, because that's how, that's when it's working, but you don't want to be pushed all over the edge.
So you need to get someone who understands it and will push you but won't push you, I think, is the answer.
What sort of exercises do you like doing? What do you think sort of works for you at the moment?
Well, for me at the moment, I am more and more reliant on a wheelchair. So for me, I really want to there's a couple of things. I really want to build up my strength for my arms because it's quite exhausting propelling a wheelchair. But also I need to keep my legs moving because I'm not walking. Because I can't walk very well. I can't walk far at all. My legs are going to just lose it. So I need to keep the muscles in them working. Otherwise, I don't know where I'll be. So I think it's really important to keep everything moving as much as you can. And that's why I go to the gym and I work on my arms first, because I know that that's the kind of thing that I'm not really affected by MS-wise. I've got kind of tingly hands and numb fingers, but it doesn't prevent me doing arm exercises and working my arm muscles. So I do a really good workout on those that feels quite satisfying, and then I feel like I've done something. And then I work on my legs and just do a small amount of leg presses, a little bit of rowing, which works your legs more than you'd think. That's quite a hard workout. I can't do a treadmill. That's completely out of the question.
Yeah.
I will just trip over my feet and kill myself, I think. Well, nearly did the last time I tried. And a cross trainer, I've started using a cross trainer, which is quite fun because you feel like you're kind of skipping or jumping a bit. So I enjoy that. But again, I can't do too much. At the moment, I've reached 5 minutes. And it's very difficult for me to get off it once I've done 5 minutes, because my legs have gone a bit weird under me and I can't support myself when I stand up. So I have to kind of hold on desperately to the machine and kind of lower myself onto the floor just to get back up again. So I probably do push myself too far, but I just think it's really important to keep those legs moving in a safe environment where I'm not going to trip over and fall outside.
How do you feel sort of after you done the exercise? Because I think for me, when I first started, what put me off doing it was fatigue or sort of muscle tiredness, and now when I do exercise, I actually have the opposite. I feel like I am a bit almost high with endorphins and things, so I get more energy. So I might crash and burn in a few hours, but I have a little solid 2 hour, 3 hour window where I'm actually the most energetic I am during the day after exercise. But I know some people really struggle because they just kind of feel like, well, that killed me and now I'm going to bed.
I can't relate to that really. I think exercising, I've never regretted a workout. So I can't relate to people not wanting to do it, I think is what I'm trying to say. So, even without having MS, I wanted to exercise, and with MS, I want to exercise. Whereas that kind of puts me in the minority. From what I can gather, I don't really have many or any friends who go to the gym. It's just not, people just have no interest. One of the common things people have said to me over the years, and particularly when I was new to it, was, why would you want to exercise anyway? Or, I couldn't, why would you want to be able to run? It's just like, it used to really hurt, because I just said that time was, why have I got MS and had my mobility taken away from me when people who don't want to walk and run are fine? But it was frustrating to me that people who could walk didn't walk, people who could go to the gym didn't go to the gym. And there was me just so desperate to work out and I couldn't. But going back to how it makes me feel, I mean, I feel really, really pleased, happy, excited, full of life. I may not feel it physically, but mentally it's there. And I think I would never wish I hadn't bothered going for a workout. I just think it's the best feeling ever when it's successful. I have felt like I can't be bothered, because when you can't do the workout you want to do, it's really frustrating. And I have had moments of feeling like, why am I bothering? Why am I torturing myself like this? And it's very easy then to think, I just won't bother. And I've been in that place. Not usually after I've done a workout, but the days after, and I think, I don't think I can go back. But then I'm quite stubborn, so I do.
What kind of tips would you give to someone who's like thinking, well, maybe somebody who used to exercise and stopped, or somebody who is completely new to it? How do you approach it?
You definitely have to find something you enjoy. So a lot of people say they find the gym boring, which I don't. So perhaps don't go to a gym if you find that boring, but find something at home that you like. If you're feeling self-conscious about it, like a Zumba, is it Zumba? Yoga. See, I find yoga boring, but I gather a lot of people enjoy it and actually get a lot from that, and it's quite low energy. Although I've tried some of the positions, they're not easy. So you've got to find something that you're going to stick at, otherwise you're just going to dread doing it all the time. If you can run or walk, maybe do interval training. If you can run, like run for a minute, walk for a minute, run for a minute, walk for a minute, and that makes the time go really much quicker, because you're not you're kind of counting, you're concentrating on when that minute is ending, and then you're changing the pace. And I think that used to help me when I used to be able to run. I used to do interval running, and I found that much more fun than going full out. Riding a bike, well, I don't know who doesn't like riding a bike. Maybe there's someone out there who doesn't, but if you can ride a bike, then do that, because you're out there in the open. You can find a nice country walk or cycle path in the city and just go for it, or cycle to work. Part of your life, so you're not having to take out time especially to do it. It's actually a way of getting somewhere. But I think the key is to if you don't use it, you lose it is true.